the SBL. So also SBL-Silat Buka Lingkaran, open circle. We have blocks, and there are about 6 fundamental blocks that come in. So I'm still in this Pasong position. This is out here. I may be looking at a practical application. I may be looking at it here. I could be looking at here. It depends on what's my dominant side, what am I looking with. Most people tend to be right-handed. I happen to be left, but we train both. And understanding that 85% of the people are right-handed, so it's easier to teach this primarily from here. So if I'm in this position, SBL's first block is this, here. I'm grabbing, I'm sinking my hip, dropping my elbow, and I grab, I can hook. Depends on what I have in this hand, what I'm doing with this hand. But the idea is I'm catching. So this is one. Now, most styles will have something, brush cover seal. I've heard of block right, strike right. It's all variations on the same idea that's in most other arts. So when this hand's moving, this hand's going to be the backup. So this is block 2. Block 2 is like that crossbody block that I'm picking this up at the elbow and I'm coming in. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, 3 comes up at an angle. So punch is coming in. I'm coming up at an angle. I'm rising. I can come down. Bam. I can come down on the hip flexor. I can come down the quad. I can go into liver strikes. Whatever's coming up. I tend, when I come up, I like leading with my elbow. Force. Boom. 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 So I like always building some amount of whipping action, some amount of rotational force, some amount of yellow, which twisting, turning of the body, using the entire body in order to be able to hit and strike, or as much as you can as force accelerators. So that way you're not relying on just physical strength. We all know some of us are not as strong as others. There's always somebody bigger and stronger, no matter how strong we are to begin with. But then also we have ideas, the older we get, the more we lose. Either we lose muscle and strength, or we just no longer find it as the intensity with workouts. Workouts that I did in my late 30s and 40s have a very different feel than the workouts that I do now. And part of that was, I wanted to build muscle, pick things up, lay them down. Then I started getting into more and more to the martial arts and realized that there was a point in time when biceps and chest would block the flow of each other. And so I said, well, I need more functional fitness. So I wanted to build a body that would also have good functional essence and not just movement, that I could deliver power. So I wanted then to connect all the connecting tissues. I wanted to harness the tendons and ligaments, the muscles, the fascia. I wanted to get all that moving together as force accelerators. And it began to give health to my entire body. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is coming in, catch, and strike. Chinese players, I think, know this is heaven 6. It is still just kind of like 1, 2, 3, because it's how we deal. Those motions are how we deal with a lot of the strikes coming in. Strikes coming in, I'm going to parry. Some may call it block. I just go, it's a parry, it's move. This picks it up as a safety, keeps it out of the way. I also can begin to use this, but my strike is coming in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, other side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Once again, as I'm delivering, I tend to move shoulders and hips together, a little bit of coiling. I like the turn. Okay. As I begin to turn, I pull my body to spring. When I'm whipping, once again, shoulders and hips are in alignment, they're moving together. This has rotational force. I tend to lead a little bit more with my elbow to make this kind of swing in to their throat, to their neck, adding a little bit extra force. So, we have 1 and 2, we have 3, we have 4, 5, imagine a punch, it gets parried down, and I come across. So, bump, 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 bump. When this is coming around, I'm keeping all of this within frame. My whole body begins to move. I'm moving my hips, my knees. As this comes and I turn, I pull this hand back to create more tension and torque along the top of my forearm. That's my striking surface. So I'm not just hitting it loose, I'm pulling this back to make this a harder surface. So, boom. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, all right, 5, 6 is just arm bar. But notice when I'm coming in, this foot, so I catch that arm, I'm going to use this as an arm bar towards the elbow. I twist and turn, and I'm twisting and turning with my body. Down. So, even in this, my elbow leads a little bit before, and it strikes. So, those are the SBL 6 blocks.